This is Devil Daggers. The goal is to survive 500 seconds. But this is no easy task, as only 0.4% of its players actually get to that time. How did I get to this time? You'll just have to watch and see. But first of all, why is it so difficult? To answer that question, we need to look at what the game throws at you during these 500 seconds. I'm assuming you know how this game works, but just in case you don't, you get one shot by enemies, and you can collect gems by not shooting. Gems drop from enemies that I will discuss soon, but all you need to know about gems for now is that it upgrades your hand. You start with a level 1 hand, 10 gems gets you a level 2 hand, 70 gems gets you a level 3 hand, and 150 homings gets you a level 4 hand. You will learn about homings later, that there are no permanent upgrades that persist through runs. It is all skill-based. First, the game throws one tower at you that sprays out skulls. It will respawn enemies every 20 seconds, but you can hit the gem on it to kill it. You will notice that one of the skulls has a horn, and this skull has a lot more health, and it drops a gem. Remember, everything one-shots you. Then, in the next 20 seconds, 3 more towers spawn, and you have to not die, and ideally collect gems. This is very easy given some practice, and at 40 seconds, a spider spawns, as well as a 2-gem tower. The spider sucks up gems, and if it does, it will spawn a spider egg sac that you will have to break, or it spawns small spiders that go very fast. But you can kill the spider by hitting its forehead, and it also drops a gem. The 2-gem tower has 2 gems, and it spawns different horned skulls that follow you, and is very fast, as opposed to the other horned skull that does not do much. But they both drop a gem. If you collected every gem possible at this point, you would have 10 gems even before killing a single gem on the tower, and you would get a level 2 hand. Then the game spawns 4 sets of 1-gem towers and 2-gem towers, 15 seconds apart from each other, totaling 8 towers. And at 109 seconds, a single 2-gem tower spawns. At this point, it's still easy given some practice, but when you first pick up the game, this is extremely difficult. And usually, if you are a beginner, the arena is full. But if you are more experienced, this part becomes easy and very boring. But after this, a centipede spawns, and you can perform a centipede scrape by shooting its belly, and you have to kill all of its gems. It is very easy. I sure hope there's not a more difficult version of the centipede that spawns 3 of them at one time. Anyway, this gives you a ton of gems, but also spiders spawn, so you should probably kill the spider first. If you collected every gem possible, you would have 61 gems. Then another 4 sets of 1-gem and 2-gem tower spawns. And on the second set, you get the level 3 hand, assuming you got every gem possible. From here, you can get homings instead of gems. They home on enemies and do way more damage. They also hit multiple enemies. You can right-click to shoot them, but be careful because they shoot very fast. Then 1 more centipede spawns, but this time there's 3 spiders that spawn, and 3 more sets of 1-gem and 2-gem towers spawn. After that, 3 more spiders spawn at 230 seconds, 6 1-gem towers spawn. Then 3 2-gem towers spawn, and then 1 3-gem tower that spawns a stronger and faster skull. Each gem has even more health. After this, the most difficult part of the game starts at 260 seconds. The Gigapedes. This took a lot of time to learn, and I'm still not consistent at them. They're like a centipede, but the gems have way more health, and they're doubly as long, and they're way more aggressive. Then, at 274 seconds, 2 spiders spawn and 1 spider 2 spawns, which is a more tanky version of the normal spider. Then, if you did a good job collecting gems and not using many homings, You can do a half scrape on one of the Gigapedes before the second set of spiders spawn and get the level 4 hand. Then, 1 spider 2 and 2 spider 1 spawn. And at 304 seconds, 3 3-gem towers spawn. And then, at 330 seconds, 3 2-gem towers spawn. And you should have, at this point, all 3 Gigapedes down. And at 350 seconds, the final boss, the Leviathan, spawns with 6 gems. And they need 6 shotgun shots each. And you just click instead of holding your mouse button down to shotgun. Then, at 365 seconds, 3 squid 1 spawn. Also, squid is another name for a tower, and the skulls try to go for the Leviathan. But if they make their way to the Leviathan, they pop out of the top and become way stronger. So you kill them and continue shotgunning. But 5 seconds later, 3 squid 2 spawn, and you dodge them and you kill the Leviathan if you do it all right. And 10 seconds later, the orb spawns. And every 2 seconds, it shoots out a shockwave that makes enemies go toward it. And if they reach it, they get way stronger. But you can stop this shockwave by shotgunning the orb, and 40 shotgun shots kills it. And after this, the end loop starts. And this is an assortment of enemies, with 2 new enemies, including the Thorn, and if you run into it, you die, and the Gigapede, with 10 segments, and it stops you from shooting homing daggers. And it takes 1 shotgun shot per segment. But it is in the sky, so it can't directly kill you. And it gets difficult. Keep in mind, the higher time you have, the faster the sets of enemies spawn. This goes on forever, but it eventually gets impossible. Let's start the story on when I first played. I was a young whippersnapper. Who wrote this script? What's wrong with them? And I was trying to get past 40 seconds and get a level 2 hand. And eventually, I did that by having a higher FOV and shooting above the towers before they spat out enemies. And also, practice played a role in it. Then, I tried to go to 100 seconds, which I did by circling the arena. But eventually, I had to switch by going to the center after I had enough skill to do so, because the arena was cluttered if I circled. After that, I optimized the beginning and could get the level 2 hand consistently, and eventually I got the arena cleared for the centipede, which I could get to every once in a while. But I kept on practicing, and eventually I got a level 3 hand with the full arena. But it was an improvement. The 3 spiders along with the second centipede was difficult because the arena was full, but after a lot of practice, I could keep the arena clear and beat the centipede. Keep in mind, I was not conserving my homing daggers, but I kept practicing, getting to a level 3 hand more and more consistently, and I got better with knowing the enemy patterns. And eventually, I got to the Gigapedes, again with no homings, and I treated them like a centipede, and I failed miserably. But after doing some research and testing, I knew what to do. And by running across the Gigapede's belly, I could get most of the gems. And I kept practicing until I got to the squid 3s. And I died a lot there. But eventually, I took down a Gigapede, which was amazing. I got more and more consistent at the part before the Gigapede. And I was also trying to conserve homing daggers. And I eventually got to a level 4 hand. Then, I started to be able to take down the squid 3s faster and faster, and I eventually got 2 Gigapedes down with just practice. And I also learned how to go slower on the Gigapede to get more gems. And eventually, I got a run with all squid 3s down. But I still had 2 Gigapedes, and I did not have a level 4 hand. I did make it to the Leviathan while using a bunch of homings, but then I died. But I kept playing, and I started to get to 70 homing daggers to start when fighting the Gigapedes. And I got a run with a level 4 hand. And then I started to conserve homings in the Gigapede section. And I slowly got better with enemy management. And I even got a clean scrape, which means killing it in one scrape. Then I got a run with 30 homing daggers at the Leviathan, and I died. At this point, I was a master at the part before the Gigapedes, just because of how much I was practicing. I kept getting clean scrapes. Although the reality is, I usually died before I finished the first scrape. But I practiced, and by the time I got to the 3-gem towers, I had 2 Gigapedes down. But then I got to the Leviathan a few more times, none of which were very good, but I did get 1 gem away from killing the Leviathan once, but then I took a break. And for a few months, I did not play, until I started again. And I practiced a lot. And I got more consistent at the Gigapedes. I started to try and use no homings on the Gigapedes. And later that same day, I got this run. .506.88, an insane time, and I don't think I will ever beat this, but here are the stats.